to put some terms on the table so we understand them. You nonchalantly say it's always on average expanding every year. The money supply is expanding every year by 7%. That's a bad thing. That's universally a bad thing.
It's awful. Well, I guess to be precise, it's the currency. Money. I would say money is monetary energy or economic energy. And the economic energy has to find its way into a medium. So if you want to move it rapidly as a medium of exchange, it has to find its way into currency. But the money can also flow into property, like a house or gold. If the money flows into property, it'll probably hold its value much better. If the money flows into currency, right? If you had put $100,000 in this house, you would have 305x return over 92 years. But if you had put the money, $100,000 in a safe deposit box and buried it in the basement, you would have lost 99.7% of your wealth over the same time period. So the expansion of the currency creates a massive inefficiency in the society, what I'll call an adiabatic lapse. What we're doing is we're bleeding the civilization to death. Right?
What's the adiabatic? What's that word? That's
adiabatic lapse.
Adiabatic.
Right. In aerospace engineering, you want to solve any problem, they start with the phrase, assume an adiabatic system. And what that means is a closed system.
Okay.
So
I've
got a container, and in that container, no air leaves and no air enters, no energy exits or enters. So it's a closed system.
So you got the closed system lapse.
Okay. What's a closed? Okay. I'm going to use
there's a leak in the ship.
I'm going to use a physical metaphor for you because you're the jujitsu, right? Like you got 10 pints of blood in your body. Mm-hmm. And so before your next workout, I'm going to take 1 pint from you. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to go exercise, but you're 1 pint. You've lost 10% of your blood. Okay. You're not going to perform as well. It takes about 1 month for your body to replace the red blood platelets. So what if I tell you every month you got to show up and I'm going to bleed you?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm draining the energy, I'm draining the blood from your body, you can't perform. Adiabatic lapse is when you go up in altitude. Every 1,000 feet, you lose 3 degrees. Mm-hmm. You go at 50,000 feet, you're 150 degrees colder than sea level. That's why you look at your instruments and instead of 80 degrees, you're minus 70 degrees. Why is the temperature falling? Temperature's falling because it's not a closed system, it's an open system. As the air expands, the density falls, right? The energy per cubic whatever, falls, and therefore the temperature falls, right? The heat's falling out of the solution. So when you're inflating, let's say you're inflating the currency supply by 6%, you're sucking 6% of the energy out of the fluid that the economy is using to function.
So the currency, this kind of ocean of currency, that's a nice way for the economy to function. It's the most kind of it's being inefficient when you expand the money supply, but it's the liquid. I'm trying to find the right kind of adjective here. It's how you do transactions at a scale of billions.
Currency is the asset we use to move monetary energy around, and you could use the dollar, or you could use the peso, or you could use the bolivar.
Selling houses and buying houses is much more inefficient, you can't transact between billions of people with houses.
Yeah, properties don't make such good mediums of exchange. They make better stores of value, and they have utility value if it's a ship or a house or a plane or a bushel of corn.